With the this week projects, we're gonna wrap everything up. This is it, and next week we're gonna test you on whatever we learned. So we open the pie chart. Let's go new project. Let's say this is week 11-ish. I don't know, it's 11, 12, 13 altogether. We're talking about a couple of applications. Python 3.6, create, opening a new window. We are good to go. This is previous week. Maximize that. Alright, so we're gonna do 3 topics today. One is menu-driven programming. This is part of the agenda here. So menu-driven. So that's one Python file. I'm just gonna create all of them and keep them separately. We're gonna talk about text processing, which is become handy when you're dealing with files or strings. Basically, it's manipulating strings. And the last one, most of you know what it is. It's called a recursion. So we're going to talk about these 3. And let's start with the menu-driven programming. So one of the things that comes up will show up when you code is creating menus for your program, right? So we're gonna talk about menu-driven programming. We're gonna talk about multi-level menu, multi-level programming, and also we're gonna talk about modularizing menus. So I'm gonna combine all of them together and make one code that has all of them somehow. So first we start with the one program with the menu. So first thing you do, you actually print your menu. So let's do that. I'm gonna minimize this a little or make it smaller so we have more room here. Let's say I'm gonna do it in the modulus format. I'm gonna go write the program that converts imperial units to SI units. So the miles, inches, miles, feet, and inches will be converted to SI unit, which is standard unit. Meters, I don't know, centimeters, kilometers, etc. So when you go to US, you can use your software. So first we're gonna start with a menu. I'm gonna do a do while loop to ask the user, would you like to select something else? So we start with the do while. We're gonna have a confirmation. Why? Since there's no do while in Python, we're gonna trick it. So we're gonna say while the confirm equals to y missing a R. And confirm is equals to capital Y. So this is your do while. It's nothing new here. It's just today we're gonna work through applications. Let's print the menu. So we're gonna have a menu here. or maybe so we're gonna have menu 1, which converts inches to centimeters. So we're gonna have that. We're gonna print it. Let's have all of them. So the second menu will print convert feet to meter, and the third one would be convert miles to, oh, my bad, converts miles to kilometers, let's say. All right, SSS. So this is my menu. Let's space it out a low, so just a line here to make it clear. Now we're gonna ask the user, let's go menu selection, to select from the menu. So please select or enter your selection. So we do that, and it's good to have an input validation loop to check your input. Let's do that. So we're gonna have while your menu selection is greater than, the user is supposed to put between 1 to 3. So if it's greater than 3 or less than 1, just asking for the input again. So this is my input validation loop. We learned all about that. So nothing new here. Let's show the user. This is the all right. Enter 1, 2, 3, or 4. No, there's no 4 yet. Here. Okay, so we have that. Let's minimize this. So that is my validation loop. Go next. So we get the input. Now we have to take action, right? So here is going to be our action. So if you run this, let's run and see what we see. Nothing, because it's a module, right? So we're going to call the conversions. I'm getting tired. I start reading things. Conversion off. That's what I'm tired. Here we go. This is going to go all the way back, obviously. So let's try it. Still nothing. Why? Yeah, the problem is here. Yeah. That should be or, like that or this, right? Not entering the loop at all. Here we go. Now it's good. So this is my menu. Can you see 1, 2, 3? Cannot see that, right? It's a weird. I may even do that. I think here is visible for you guys. That's enough. So you can select one of those, and the program is supposed to take action accordingly. But it doesn't, because we haven't defined anything yet. So let's go define something. It's an infinite loop at the moment. So now let's take action. So we're gonna go if the menu selection is equals to 1. What we're gonna do, we are going to convert that. So we're gonna get the inches. So menu 1 is what? Converting inches to centimeters, right? And we're gonna go integer, or let's go float, right? The inches are floats. Integer. No, input. It's one of those days. Enter the number of inches. We're gonna get that, and we're gonna convert that inch to centimeter, right? How do I do that? So we are going to go inches equals to, no, sorry, centimeters. And that's why you write centimeters, if I'm not mistaken. Centimeters, right? Yeah, it's all right. Surprisingly. So what's a conversion? So let's use this. So inch to centimeter is 2.54, right? According to the famous search engine Bing. It's just convenient to do that. So
have you heard about Ducky Duck?
Ducky Duck? No, no, I haven't heard of it.
It's great. Better than it.
It's probably the same thing, eh?
Better than it.
It's better than that. Alright, so this is the conversion. 2.54 times whatever input the user give me. Then we're gonna nicely print the result. So we're gonna say that much inches is this much centimeters. Boom. So that is your action for menu 1. Since I'm lazy today, I'm gonna copy paste. So we have 3 more actions. It's pretty much similar. I'm just gonna go modify it. I feel relatively lazy at this moment, and this is a graduate level, so you guys should follow. So we're gonna do elif. We're gonna upgrade that. If the menu was selected to be 2, then what we convert is what?
We can use the switch case.
We can use the switch case too, yeah. That also work. Is your preference. You want to do switch case, do switch cases. So we're gonna convert feet. No, the feet to meters. So we take the feet, enter the number of feet. We're acting as a switch cases. We can use modules. We can do anything. And we're gonna convert feet to meters, right? So meters to feet. What is that conversion? So meter to feet. That would be 3 points. Is that what it is? No. Okay. So I think we have to do it the other way around, right? It's a feet to meters. Yeah, we're gonna get the meters, right? Feet to meters. Yeah. So that is it. So 1 feet is that much. 0.3048. what was that? 0.3048. Then we're gonna go this much meters. Just a modification, obviously. Sorry, this much feet. Let's make that feet. Is that much meters. All right, so that is your option 2. And the last option, there's 3 of them, right? Yep. So if you have 3, what would happen? So 3 is converting miles to kilometers, so we're gonna collect miles, enter number of miles, and what is miles to kilometers? Could you search that up? So miles to kilometers. Okay, now miles to kilometers. Is 1.6093. 1.6093. 1.6093. We are accurate that way. So that much miles. There's double L here. Is that much kilometers. So this is covering all those options, and then we can ask the user here. So we are done. We are gonna go ask the user what. Let me just go open some space here. Then we are done here. We're gonna ask the confirmation and say as an input says if you like to select again, type, let's say Y or Y. All right, I think we are doing okay, and we update that and repeat. So let's try that, see what we did. Run. Here we go. Let's do the selection. We're gonna do the selection 1. So this is they asked me the number of inches. Let's say 10 inches, and 10 inches is 25.4 centimeters. Would you like to continue? Yes. And we show again the menus. So maybe I should put the space here to separate them. I like to print the menus again. People forget what it is. Sometimes it goes up and down, so it's good to be here. So I'm gonna do a little bit of improvement here. I'm just gonna add the line. Maybe that, or just gonna print the line here to just make things clean. So again, let's go 1. There we go, 10 inches. This is 25.4. Would you like to continue? Yes. So select from those. That's 2. 10 feet. That is 3.048 meters, and kilometers, 10 miles is 16.093 kilometers. You can format that to 2 decimal places if you like. You don't know how to do it. It's up to you. We're working really accurately with that, but if you need it, just simply go format it and go with it. Alright, so this is one way of doing it. Let's go do another one with modules. So I'm not going to call this again. I am going to do a simple math program. So simple math. And I'm going to have a bunch of modules. So one of them is add, which get x and y, and simply returns x plus y. I can break things down the way it is, so we can have another module, let's say subtract x and y. We are going to return x minus y. Yeah, let's define subtract, add, multiplication, or multiply, let's say, for simplicity. We're gonna go return x multiplied by y. And we're gonna define a module called divide. And what we can do, we return x to y. So one of the things in Python, if you have one line of command in the module, you can write it that way. So instead of doing that, you can do in one line. It works for everything if you have one line. So you have these modules. Let's now define a program, call this math, for lack of a better word. And we're gonna do the same thing. So we're gonna have a confirm set to y. So that's for my do while loop, and we're gonna go confirm if the confirm is y, or confirm is that. Oh, typo. Then we're gonna print the menu. We're gonna say, okay, select an operation. Three. Multiply. So we give user options. So I'm printing my menu. 4 is divide. Alright. So for option, we ask for choices. So let's let the user choose, and we're gonna go integrate. Sorry, integer input, not integrate. Enter choices, your choice, and let's have it like that. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, one of those. And then, so when we get the choices, let's have an input validation loop too. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go while choices is greater than 5 or choice is less than 1. We're gonna print this is a wrong input. So we're gonna do that, and we're gonna ask for the input again. So that's my input validation loop. And so what I'm gonna do, I can get number 1 integer. So we need 2 input from the user. The first number, so we get that, and then number 2, the second number, and then we're gonna say if choices or choices equals to 1, we're simply gonna print. Actually, we can write it in one line if you like. Be improving, so we're gonna write everything in one line. So we're gonna print what? So we're gonna say num1, comma, plus num2, comma, equals to, comma, I'm just gonna call the add with num1 and num2. So I'm using the modules to print that. Similarly, I'm just gonna go elif choice is 2, then we're gonna print a little bit of cheating here, copy paste. So the choice 2 is what? Subtraction, subtract that. So that's gonna be subtraction. and there would be more, so copy and paste, and copy and paste. So choice 2, choice 3, and choice 4. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna subtract. What's the choice 3 is multiplication. So multiply, and the last one would be division. Alright, so this is my choices, and when I'm done, I'm done. It's always good to add the else here, just in case. We have an input validation loop, so that's redundant, but if you don't have, you can add a print that this is an invalid input. You can do that, but we have an input validation loop, so it doesn't let anything goes by, but let's have it. It doesn't hurt anyone. Let's have that one here as well. So here after this, we're just gonna have an else, which is prints literally invalid input, just in case. Okay, so let's try our second menu. So we're gonna run the math and see everything works properly or not. So we're gonna stop that and run it. Alright, so this is my menu. I'm gonna choose one. So we're gonna do 10, 20, and 10 plus 20. Oh, this is an infinite loop. We forgot to update the confirmation, right? I'm gonna stop that, go back here. So here is my first loop, and I need to actually update that confirm here. So we're gonna print the line again and say okay, confirm. Enter Y or Y if you like to select from the menu, right? Okay, so let's try that. Start with the choice 1. You're gonna add it up. So 10, 20. So 10 plus 20. Okay, we didn't ask for confirmation. It's a little bit off. Let's find out why. Stop that. It's probably is not in the right location. Yeah, it's outside of the loop, right? So it has to be inside of the loop. So we're gonna move that in and take that out, print it here, boom, run it again. So 1, here we go, 10 and 20, here we go. So 10 and 20, 30. Let's continue by, let's go menu 2, 10 and 20. The subtraction is negative 10. Let's try the next menu, menu 3, multiplication, 10 and 20. That would be 200 again, and 4 would be division. 10 divided by 20 is half, and no. All right, so we have this program. Now we want to actually integrate these two. So what I'm gonna do, I am gonna go multi-level menu. So we're gonna define a main, and in the main we're simply gonna do this. We're gonna print the menu. So it says select from the following, and we are going to do print one is math and the other one is conversion. Alright, so we're gonna select from those two. and we are gonna go while. So we're gonna have input validation loop. So we're gonna collect the choice. Your choice is integer input, obviously. There's other ways to do this, but let's stick with the whatever we did. So select your operation, and then we're gonna have the input validation loop. So while choices is greater than 2 or choices is less than 1, what I'm gonna do is what? We're gonna keep asking, so we're gonna print invalid input, and then we are going to go 1 and 2. Okay, so when we do that, we simply, this is multi-level, by the way. So we're gonna go next line and say, okay, if your choice is equals to 1, then call the math menu, and if its choice is equals to what? That would be conversion, and let's have it else invalid. Okay, so let's check that so far. So we're gonna run the main and see what kind of problem we might have, and we fix it as we go. Alright, so we're gonna select math 1. Alright, doesn't do anything. Let's find out why. Oh, this happened inside the validation loop. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go back, indentation problem. So that's the first thing I'm gonna fix. Done. Let's run it again. 1. Alright, so we're entering in sub menu, which is the math. So we're gonna select an operation. Let's say 1, 20, and then when you say yes, you can select from this menu again, but now we need the option to go back to the previous menu. So if you say no, we're done. So what it is, I need to, when I call this, I need to come back here. So I'm gonna go modify my math first. So I'm gonna add an option. Let's say 5. Go back to previous menu, and then so we have to change that to, oh, it's already 5, eh? Yeah, that's okay because it covers 1 to 5. We're gonna change that. Oh, one other thing will happen is now I have a choice that does not require and here we're gonna just return. So choice 5 will basically return to the previous menu. But one other thing is we need, now we have this option num1 and num2 that it might not be used when you have option 5. I'll show you. So let's go, let's say this is a math and you do a math, let's say 1, you go 10 and 20 and the result is 10 and 20, and you go select from the menu again. Now you want to go to the previous menu, We press 5. It asks me about for the numbers again. And then it returns. So what I'm gonna do is this. I am gonna make this a module to just call it whenever I need. Let's call it getNum. Or we can do this. We can do if choices is not equal to 5. That's better. Do that. So in that case, we're just running these for this form. And if you like to select from the, that would be math menu. Okay, let's try that. So math option 1, we're gonna do 1. Let's say add 10 and 20. It's fine. We're gonna select from the math menu, and look, we change our mind, and now we want to go back. We're going back, but we're not doing anything. Now we have to show those menus, those initial menus, and this is here. I don't have any loops here. So what I'm gonna do when I'm returning from the math, I'll get here, and one other thing, I can have the loop to do this, but I'm simply gonna call my function again. So in that case, you always call your function, but I'm gonna leave the option to leave this function also. So I'm gonna add another menu here to leave the program, and then we're gonna add the choice here for that. So we're gonna go elif choices 3. What you do is you just return whenever you call it. So we come back here and continue our program. So we have an exit option here, and we're always constantly calling my math, calling the function inside of the function. We call that recursion anyway. So we have that here. So let's run it. Okay, so we're gonna have operation 1. Let's select 1. So we're gonna add that. Let's try another one. So 2. We're gonna subtract, and let's say now we're gonna select something from the menu, or we don't wanna select from the menu. It's up to you. Let's say we don't wanna, or let's. So we say no, and you go back. Oh, we're not doing anything here, eh? So the no is supposed to not enter the loop. We're gonna check that what it is, but let's check the 5. Alright, it seems it's not updated at all. Let's go check it out. Alright, let me fix this problem. That's 5, and check this. Okay, so the problem is the menu, and update is outside of the 1. Yeah, this has to be inside the 1. There we go. It never update the choice, so that should work. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Beside the errors.
The choice is not declared yet.
Yeah, we moved too many.
No, I think that's fine. You just need to choice equals 0 first.
All right. No, you're talking about there's no loop. There is no loop to. You said it's supposed to be inside the loop. It's not. There is no loop. This is a validation loop. This is a recursion. You're calling the function again, so it has to start over.
Yeah.
All right. I'm calling the math. I'm gonna call the main.
Okay, you're calling main.
Yeah.
Inside the main.
Yeah.
You're using recursion for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not? I'm teaching recursion too, right?
No. No.
Why not? You want to have a loop? It's not a lazy code.
Yeah, because when you finish everything, they're gonna go back, and it's like weird. You don't need the recursion for that.
Who said this is not supposed to be weird? There's no need to do none of those. Like it's I want to teach recursion. You can call the instead of loop. I'm using the main to do this. The only problem I had, I was calling the math instead of main. That was the idea. Fine. Well, what are you gonna do? Validation loop, like the do while loop?
Yeah, because if you have an iteration inside a while, you can do the same way instead of using recursion.
Yeah, yeah. It was like that, but I'll have to teach recursion too. So here we go.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. So let's do math. So option 1, 5 and 5. That was like a being tired problem. So we're gonna go. We said no, we don't want to go back. And here you're gonna go back to. Here we go. Go back to the main now. Let's
press 3. You're gonna leave.
Yeah. Oh no! Before we have to fix the validation.
Because I think it's because the
No. Just the validation loop is up to 3. No, we have a 3 that it returns. Yeah. So that's fixed. That's called a debugging, by the way. We go fix things. So option 1, adding 10 and 20. That's fine. Let's continue, and we change our mind. We're gonna go back to the previous menu, 5, and 3 to leave the program, and that's it. So now let's go fix the conversion now. Let's see what's going on with conversion. Well, we have the loop. I want to use the recursion to do this. Here we go. So here we have that. So what option I'm gonna add is gonna go to the previous menu. Go to previous menu. We are going to fix our validation loop, one of the problem I faced last time. So now we accept 4 also. We're gonna add 4 here to let the user know. What else I need to fix? Action. We don't have any 4. Just gonna add the menu selection 4 here. LF menu selection 4. So you're not a big fan of recursion, I understand. We're gonna return. And here we're gonna say loop Y to repeat conversion menu. Here we go, and I think that will work. So let's try that. Obviously, I might be wrong. So we're gonna do 2. All right, so let's try one of them. Then 10 inches. Let's continue. Let's try 3, 10, and let's go no. All right, we go to the previous menu now, and we can leave the program. So it's good now. All right, let's take a short break and come back, talks about text processing, and then we wrap it up. Okay, so let's talk about text processing. Let's have a string, call it greetings, and it's hello in it. We know we can print it like this. We can print the variable and see what we can have. Just run this. And here we go. Also, you can see and print each word or letter if you will. So this is exactly work as a list or basically array. You can set your index to 0 and that will print the first word. So if you want to print the second one, obviously U, put the index 1, and you can see it all. Let's do that. So 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, and 3. 3 and 2. I think we have 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. There are 5 letters in hello, and you can individually print those. Obviously, you can use your loops to do that if you like. So if you print, so let me just print a separator here. You can have a loop of either 4, so this index in range of length of greeting, whatever it is 5 in this case, and we can print the greetings index. So that's one way to do it. Also, we can use a while loop. Just gonna set the index manually and set the index to 0 and say while index is less than the length of greetings. Then we're gonna print greetings index, and then we're gonna increment the index by 1. So these all do the same thing, which is read the string 1 by 1. So one letter or one word by one word, as you can see. However, let's say I have a name. The name is Bill, and I want to change that Bill to Jill. So in other words, I'd like to flip the B. I want to change B to G or J, basically. It's not G, J. And if I want to do this, okay, so is this valid? Can I do that? The answer is no. Oh, what's happened here? No, we cannot. Give me the error right here. It said the error wasn't. So string object does not support item assignment. So one other thing there is you can read the string, but since the string is kind of connected to each other, that's what they call the string to begin with. You cannot assign a word into the string. So how do I flip that? One other thing you can do. Yeah, so we're gonna split the string, or basically we can do this. We can convert that to a list if you like. Really simply enough, we're gonna go use a list function and convert the name to a list. So in that case, we can print. Oh, I have to comment that, right? So this is an error. So it doesn't let me. So this is not. This is an error, and you cannot assign a string. So the solution is converting that to a list. So now when you run it, let me print the name first. So we have the name, and then we convert it to the list, and we print the list. So here we go. So this is your string. We convert it to the list, then we can simply go flip this B. So let's do that. I can go now and say, okay, list 0 is equals to we're doing J for Jill. So now if you print the list, you will see that the B and J actually flipped. And now we have to convert back the list or array, whatever rock your boat to a string. So how do I do that? So we're gonna have our friend's initial variable here. What was it? Name. And I'm gonna use an empty string and gonna join. I think the function is join list to it. In that case, if you print the name now, it will change to Jill. So what it is, I have the bill, I convert it to the list or string, I flip or assign this index, and then I convert it back to the string. So that's one of the things processing there is. Let's say there's a bunch of functions. Let's say you have a string and you have something in it. So let's say this is your string, and let's put my name in it for a change. And you can find out if this string is lowercase, uppercase, digits, space, and all that. So if you want to find this is uppercase or not, there is a function called that. So you can say if my string dot, and all this function that actually find out the type of the string you have will start with is and generate a Boolean expression. So you can find is it space, is it digit, is it lowercase, is it uppercase. We're gonna go find if this is uppercase or not, or lowercase or not, and if it's the lowercase, we're gonna print this is a lowercase string. In order to find the upper, you can go my string dot is upper, and that find the string is upper. So that's how you find is upper or lower. In this case, obviously is lower, so we're just gonna run that, and it says it's lowercase. So question, if I make the first H capital, that would be lower or upper? So the answer to this is none. So the only first word is upper. In order to detect that, you can actually check individual words or letters to find them. So let's copy that, paste it, and instead of the whole string, you can go and find the first index to be upper and lower. So this is gonna be this is the first word, a letter is lowercase, and here is the first letter is uppercase. So in that case, you can check the first letter only and the whole thing. So in that case, if you go this with Hassam, you can see it just tells you the first letter is upper. If you make all of them upper, you're gonna have two messages, right? One would be the first letter is upper and the whole string is upper. You can go lower also, and you see things happen. It's a lowercase string and the first letter is also lower. Okay, so let's write a program actually to take input from the user and break it down to find out the context. So we're gonna find out as a input how many uppercase, lowercase, and digits and special characters, or what's in it basically. Let's have a sentence. So we're gonna have a sentence from the user. So we're gonna have an input. So enter a sentence, or enter your sentence. And we're gonna break it down. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna have a go through this manually using a loop. So we're gonna set the index. I'm gonna use a while loop. It's easier that way. And we're gonna have uppercase counter. So we're gonna find how many uppercase do we have. We're gonna have a lowercase counter. I'll set that to 0. And what else we need to know? We're gonna find how many digits there is, and let's find the spaces also, and let's find special character. So that is about it. Okay, so simple enough. We're gonna write the while loop to go through the input. So we're gonna say while the index is less than length of the sentence. What we're gonna do is what? So we're gonna check one by one. So we're gonna say, oh, okay, if the sentence index, start from the first word and just go forward, is upper. What we're gonna do, we're just gonna increment the uppercase counter, and also we're gonna check for the lowercase, so is lower, and in that case we're just gonna increment the lowercase count, and the next would be, so we're gonna find is digit or not, is that digit, and if that's a digit, we're gonna just increment the digit count by 1, and if it's not that, obviously we're gonna go with space. So we're gonna figure out if it's a space or not. As you know, this can be only one at a time, so cannot be space and digit at the same time. Is space, so that's gonna be space count plus equal to 1. And what else left? The special character left, which is the last one. So just gonna go else, and if it's not, we're gonna go special character plus special character count plus equals to 1. Okay, so we can find all of that, and when we are done, we're just gonna print the result. So we're gonna say, okay, your sentence has the followings. So what they have is, we're gonna print uppercase count, uppercase, gonna have lowercase count, lowercase, you're gonna have digit count, digits, and we're gonna have space count, spaces, what else, and special character, I guess, special character count, special character. Alright, so let's see, we did all of them. This is a 5 items here on the list. We're checking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is 5. If one other thing I didn't do is for this loop, I have to manually increment the index to go see what's going on. Alright, so let's run this. Alright, let's try the sentence. So I'm gonna go that. Alright, whatever that is. It's a 16 uppercase, 15 lowercase, 5-digit 2-space, and 1 special character. Well, I can see the special character right away. That's easy to target. 16 upper. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. That makes sense. 15 lowercase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And 5 digits. Where are those? 3, 4, 3, 2, 4. Okay, they're there. 2 spaces, 1 and 2, and 1 special character. Okay, that works. So this is part of the text processing. You can check what it is, you can print it out, and such. Let's talk about recursion really fast, and then wrap it up. We already used the recursion. Let's talk about it a little bit more. So recursion literally is calling the function inside the function. Funny enough, there is a joke in Google about this. So if you search the word recursion, yeah, did I show you that?
No, I don't know if you show it, but I know.
If you search recursion in Google, it's actually show what it is. So it repeats application of a recursive production definition, and this is the joke here. It says, do you mean recursion? And usually when you click on it, it should resolve and give you the correct one. Just keep repeating itself. I thought it was a flaw for the first time when I find it. I was going to send an email to the Google, but
Really?
yeah, like it's when I was undergrad, like second year or something.
Okay.
Yeah, that was funny. Anyways, so recursion is, let's say,
Easter egg.
interact.
Easter egg.
Easter egg, yeah, that's true. So the recursion is if I have a message, let's say hello world, I'd like to print that 5 times instead of using a loop. So usually when you printing something 5 times, you're just gonna go I in range of, let's say, 5, and you just print this 5 times. That's what it is. However, when you're using recursion, so let me call the main. Oh, not that. Here we go. That's your 5 times, but there's a better way to do this, or there's a different way to do this. Not better way, it's a different way. And what's that is you calling this main inside the main. So every time you print this, you do it and you're gonna repeat that again. But that's the infinite, right? So you enter the loop, you print this, you do print, you do print. So you're gonna stop somehow. What it is, I'm gonna, let's say, time, and ask the user give me the number of time you want to see the message. Alright, so we want to do that. Alright. And then we're gonna feed the time here. And we're gonna receive it up here in my module, and every time I do this, I'm gonna call the time 1 less time. So we send the 5, we print this, then 5 minus 1 would be 4. 4 comes here, print this, 3, 2, 1, 0, -1 minus 2. That's also still an infinite loop. We're gonna put the stop to this. So we're gonna say, okay, if the time is greater than 0, then you print that and call it this again. Otherwise, that's it.
No. We need to return.
No, we don't need to return.
No?
It does return anyway.
So then again, he will
Well, let's try
call
it.
the main again and again.
I don't think that's the case. Maybe you're right. Let's test it. No. So when you leave the mod, this is a module. This is not a function. So module, always you go back to whenever you call it. Sometimes you want to force returning it. That's what we use. Return is for taking a value and taking it with it. But the previous menu I use, I'm kind of forcing it because that's not the right time to. The most famous use of this is in factorial. It's a mathematical term. I don't know if you guys heard about it or not. Yeah, exactly.
Work with graphs and trees.
Smart guy. Smarter than I am, for sure. Yeah, come on, man. Mathematicians are geniuses. So, what is a factorial? It's let's say there's a 5 factorial, and what is that? So that's 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, and that's in factorial. So how do I code this? So we're gonna have a module which accepts a number. And how do I actually write the module or a function to do this for me? Yeah. So the idea is this. The 5 factorial also can be written as 5 times 4 factorial. And 4 factorial can be written as 4 times 3 factorial. And 3 factorial can be written, you got the idea, hopefully. 3 times 2 factorial. And 2 factorial can be written as 2 times 1 factorial. And 1 factorial one time 0 factorial.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it is really. It's 1, yeah, but the thing is, there's a couple of rules to this. One of the exception is 0 factorial is equals to what?
Oh, right.
What is a 0 factorial?
Yeah.
Is equals to 1. So this is your exception. So the idea is this. So we can do this. So you're gonna go 5 times 4 factorial. Then we go calculate the 4 factorial, which is 4 times 3. You calculate 3, 2, and 1, and replace back all of them to create this guy. So let's say I have 4 factorial here. I'm gonna replace it with this guy. And then for the 3 factorial, I'm just gonna replace it with that guy. And for 2 factorial, I'm just gonna replace it with this. And for 1 factorial, I'm gonna replace it with that. So the idea is doing this exactly to create the factorial. So first, before I go, I'm gonna cover my exception. So if the num equals to 0, we return 1. So that is done. So there's no exception anymore. And then we're gonna go else. We're gonna print the result. What happens exactly as I show you? Num is multiplying by string. Alright, I'm done messing with the numbers. So just gonna and then we're gonna return what? We're gonna return num multiply by factorial num minus 1. So that's actually enforce this idea of whatever it is. So we keep calling. So we start 5, and then we're gonna go 5 times 4 factorial. We iter with 4, so that's gonna be 4 times 3, 3, 2, 1, and all so on and so forth. So let's try something with that. So let's get the put 5 and see how that works. All right. Okay. So this is we forgot to actually do this. We're gonna make it proper. A little bit of extra time doesn't kill anyone. Yeah, I can. I can print it. Yeah. Let's have it input. Like let's say num integer input. Enter a positive, non-negative integer, and then we're gonna send the num and save it as a result, and then we're gonna print the result, something like that. So this is 5-time message, 5, and here we go. Or we can do this, so we can go num here we go. 5 factor is 120. That's about it. I think I covered everything.